Hey, IDS 301. This is module 3, video number 2. It is, what is it, Wednesday, January 27th, 11 o'clock in the morning. Um, Hope everybody's doing well. Let me see if I can rearrange this. I'm trying to get it rearranged to a good position here. And my notes say that, well, I've got some housekeeping to do. Make sure you're getting announcements, you're seeing announcements. I send them with these videos. They should come to you via email, and you should be using your ASU email to connect with me. Now, I know there's also the Canvas mail, which is absolutely fine. In fact, it tells me everything I need to know. It gives me your name, your class. You just have to write your Easter eggs or whatever, and that'll work too. So I want you to get away from personal email on here, okay? um, okay, so a reminder, there are no do-overs in the class. If you disappointed with your score, I understand it. Something might have happened. You're always free to ask me about that, to discuss it, to give you an idea what's going on. But do not just resubmit it. There's a logic issue there. We're working on a course and I get all this. There's so much debate over grades, no grades, score. It's really, but at this point, it's irrelevant. It's just do your best on an assignment, turn it in, own what you did, learn from that, and move forward. Okay. Uh, I will not ever, to my knowledge, give you assignments that are beyond your scope of knowledge at this level of interdisciplinary studies. And an example being the integration that I've pounded was what I expected to see in discussions, expected to see it everywhere. That's why last week I used, or Sunday used you can't overuse integration in this course as an Easter egg, all right? Because it should come first before thinking outside the box, before anything like that, before jack of all trades, because again, most people will move right to the multiples when they talk about interdisciplinary studies. It's multiple this, it's multiple that. We multiplize this. What does that say? That's multidisciplinary. Interdisciplinary, integrate. It should start there. Then you can talk about we integrate multiple disciplines. And again, I really hope that when you come out of this class, you have a good foundation to what it is. Too many students do not. I've tried to make it a point to change that. So when you think of interdisciplinary studies and you think of integration and you think about the academic side, because remember, interdisciplinary studies is the field, integration is the process. At least that's what we're looking at here to make it clear. All right. So when you're talking about integrating disciplines, you're not saying, oh, we can take a problem or a phenomenon, we can just use all the disciplines. Well, yeah, you can, but you're not going to. So you have to restrain it a little bit. All this means is that we do not, I'm not going to say respect, we do respect, we do not adhere to disciplinary boundaries, okay, like concepts and theories and methodologies that are inherently firm in a discipline. We're not going to adhere to those if we see as interdisciplinarians another look. And again, I'll use the controversial, provocative Black Lives Matter movement, which shouldn't be controversial or provocative, but is, because we're a diverse society that sees things differently. But again, this is why you can't just look at that through a lens of political science. It doesn't give you enough. You got to add some sociology, social studies. You got to add some African American studies. You got to add certain things in there so you get a good critical thinking, critical thoughts involved if you're going to analyze it. You have to understand your own biases. There's nothing wrong with having your own biases, but you have to acknowledge them and try to set them aside in terms of analysis, okay? Again, some things aren't going to work, okay? I have a plant. Let's look at it through interdisciplinary studies. What? Agriculture and Maybe psychology, it helps me feel better. I don't know. But yeah, there's certain things that are limited, and then other things that just scream for more analysis. It's just a way of looking at academics, research, the world, various phenomena in a way that does not prevent you from seeing things through multiple disciplines by integrating the insights. And when we get through it in the integration, we're also going to talk about, and you're going to read about, and boy, did I jump all over the place here, but you're going to talk about, where is it? Making connections, okay. Might not be till 302, but you're going to see, types of transfer. You're going to see there are obstacles. There are, what can I'm sorry, I'm really lost here. I shouldn't be lost in my own textbook. I didn't write it. No, but you're going to run into, when you use interdisciplinary studies, you can run into conflict, okay? Things that conflict, and you have to either decide if you're going to work through that, how you're going to work through it, okay? As a very bizarre example, I'll talk to you about, um, we're going to put a new overpass over the I-10 at Warner Road, and we got to do a study on that. So we're going to do it interdisciplinary. So on one hand, we've got engineering, and they're going to look at bridge building, making a bridge. But then, for some reason, I have no idea, but as an example, a dentist comes in and talks about bridge building. And then a musician comes in and talks about bridge building. So we have a single word with a number of definitions and uses. And again, it's a horrible example, but when you get into a phenomena or research target topic, you're going to run into conflict in terminology and theory, things like that. And there's ways to get through that, okay? And making the connections that you need to make. All right. So onward and upward. Again, I just want to continue to emphasize ways to think about interdisciplinary studies. And by the way, another tidbit, an interdisciplinarian is a person, is one who studies interdisciplinarity. An interdisciplinary is not anything. That's poor grammar. An interdisciplinary is not a person, it's not anything. An interdisciplinarian is. Interdisciplinary is an adjective, is a concept, okay? Interdisciplinary studies is a topic. So if I say describe an interdisciplinarian, I didn't say describe an interdisciplinary, okay? All right, so please, I know it's a lot, it's a mouthful, but be disciplined in your terminology, understanding, right? Okay, check the comments again, even if you score 100%, I typically have something to say about things, all right? Another thing is there's probably going to be no extra credit in this class. I just gave you a whole boatload on that discussion board. So I have 41 students out of 41 out of 46 that have A or B in this class. Overwhelmingly have A. Yeah, I only have 5 students that don't have an A or a B. And only 6 have B. So 36 of you have A's. I'm giving you that right away. So it's not that I want 36 students to have A, but I want you to earn that A, and I gave it to you because that assignment needs to be redone, okay? So enjoy that, but understand you have room to give now, okay? Easter egg number 1, no do-overs. I like to spell DO-OVERS, no do-overs, EE1. That will, like I said, don't assume that. I may give it, but I rarely do, okay? Plans to study that I've gotten. Chef's kiss, they were really good. You guys really did a good job. I don't know what the connection was there, but you really connected with the objectives. You did it in an organized fashion overwhelmingly. Remember, no color, no highlighting, no cover pages when I say that. Other than that, you did really well, okay? And nobody had to resubmit, all right? I think honestly something about one concept or one feature of this paper, this type of paper, that results in these kind of scores is that you're talking about yourself. You're writing about yourself. What's better than that, right? What do you know more than that? Yourself. So I can't sit there and correct your work. You told me what courses you took. So there's a few things I look for. Evidence of DARs, that means mentioning DARs or showing me DARs, and going through the organization of the paper as instructed. And I think you did a great job of that. But just remember, as we move forward and you get things to write about that is not about yourself, you got to take yourself out. I have a 302 course. It's all about research. And one of the toughest things I have to teach them, the tough love, is that you don't get to appear in your papers. There's no I, there's no me, there's no my. And I said, the tough love is that nobody cares. Because if you think in your high school when you did history or something and thought about the history text and you were reading it for class and it talked about the Civil War and it said the Civil War was held in 1857 or whatever it was, I don't know, and there was President Lincoln did this or that, and then then he was killed. I think you none of that reading will ever say Civil War. I always wanted to write about the Civil War for a student's textbook because I always wanted to see what students would think about the history of the Civil War in terms of there's no I, me, my in textbooks. There's no I, me, my in research papers. Very rarely. There can be. And you usually would see it in terms of the current research or the current research. But most basic research to learn about it is to understand you don't get to appear. It's already inherent. We know you're researching something you want. We know you're writing about something you want to or have to. Okay. It's kind of like me starting this video by saying, well, I breathed in and out this morning and I just wanted to share that with you. You know you did. You can assume I did because I'm here telling you, right? All right. But good job on that plan of study. Okay. So Turnitin software. That is a program that you run most of your papers through based on my settings that will look at a score of plagiarism, or in this case, not plagiarism, right? Plan of study is really not going to have any because you're writing about yourself. I guess it used to be you would see a percentage on your score right away. Now it's just a color. Green is excellent, and I think it's yellow after that. Then I think it's blue, and then I think it's brown or something. If you have any questions, let me know. You just want to shoot for, of course, everyone that's going to use citations or something or is going to have some kind of score, and that's fine. It's just that how you use it, how you reflect that you're using other people's work, okay? But I just want to tell you about Turnitin. And, as we go forward, I want to remind you again about the formatting, and everybody's seems to be doing really well with it. I don't care if it's anything that's done on a Word doc. It needs to be what? Times New Roman, 12-point font, double line spacing, paragraph indents. That's it. That's the main thing for you guys to remember. Okay. So Easter egg number 2, remember the formatting basics. Remember the formatting basics. Remember the Alamo. All right. So discussions, how to improve them. Well, let's just say that if the discussion board instructions includes prompts, okay, and if they're numbered, then your work discussion should reflect that numbering, okay? If it's in sections or questions, your discussion prompt responses should reflect that organization, okay? This is the way I know, all right? And I'm saying overwhelmingly it's been like that, all right? Instead of paragraph indents, you can just use line gaps. It's fine for that. It's always a yawn. Everyone. I got 9 hours of sleep, I think, last night. Okay, so by the way, I got my first vaccine yesterday. I got the Pfizer. My shoulder's a little sore, but came through with flying colors. I'm so excited. I got my second one at 4:42 a.m. on February 26th. Okay, anyways. So on the discussion, yes, you want to make it readable because, listen, I don't think I have to preach to the choir here, but you are university students in a 300 level course. There's no call for just throwing a bunch of words together in a paragraph that long when it's supposed to be reflective of 3 prompts, three responses, 7 questions, whatever. I am not your editor. I do not go in there and decide where one response starts and one response ends and vice versa. I don't do that. You better start thinking of your reader and how you're submitting your work to give me a clear picture of what I am looking at. I am not going to be the editor or the guy who has to figure this out and try to pick through it. What do we got here? I don't know. When the student just says, here you go, here's a pile of words. You have a responsibility, and I'm sure 100% of you would agree with me on that. And if you don't, I'd like to hear back from you. Okay, so let's go to, so the discussion's coming up. Do you see what I see? Learning from the gecko. A few of you probably watched it already. I'm sure you loved it. It's great, right? The Mighty Mug, good stuff. Remember to use the concepts and terms that you're learning from these. Remember to repeat them. It's fine. Again, remember what you're here for. Yes, you are here to bring the knowledge that you've accumulated in your life to this program where you're in, and then to be additive in terms of the new knowledge that you can formulate as you navigate your academic life and real life. It's not, I learned all the way up to here, this point, and now I don't want to learn anything else. I want to just take this stuff and apply it. Can't. There's new stuff to be had, to be learned, okay? Even by me. All right, I'm learning stuff all the time, and to be open-minded with this. So I want to remind you about that, okay? I'm happy to discuss things, always to improve the course, right? But just keep an open mind. Remember, you're interdisciplinarians. That doesn't mean you have to have an open mind. Forget about it. Forget about it. Okay, the quiz. Look, I think it's 15 multiple choice, 15 true and false. You got this. Just have the material assimilated for you. Set up a call with me regarding any issues that you might be having or concerns. Please try not to freak out after an assignment is due and send me all kinds of excuses. If you know that it's due and you're not going to be able to get it suitable, that's when you get a hold of me, because then I know that you know. All right. So please do that. Send me an email. Easter egg number 3. IDS is the field, integration is the process. IDS is the field, integration is the process. Again, that's a maxim or a mantra. It's not always 100% perfect, but it's the best heavyweight start that we can do from, IDS equals integration. Well, let's take it to the next step. IDS is the field, academic field, and integration is the process. Okay. That's it, you guys and gals. I hope you have a great weekend. It's cool. It's really cool here, cold. But all right, I think that's it. Forks up. Peace.